Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we are heading straight to the southern coast of Cyprus. We're going to unpack the city of Limassol.
Yeah, and our mission is to take this whole stack of sources, everything from archaeology to urban planning critiques and even crowdsourced reviews, and really track the city's transformation.
Exactly. We're looking at how it morphed from this, ancient city kingdom into a modern hub that's, it's grappling with some big things.
It really is. For you, the listener, think of it like we're peeling back layers. We'll start with the deep, ancient past just outside the city. Then we'll move into the complexities of urban planning and all that modern gloss.
And finally, we'll get into the culture, the festivals, the nightlife, and even the surprising politics of its food.
It's quite a journey.
Okay, so let's start where it all began. We have to talk about the ruins of Amethyst, just a bit east of the modern city. This wasn't just some small town.
No, not at all. Amethyst was one of Cyprus's most significant ancient city kingdoms. We're talking history that goes all the way back to the 11th century BC.
And its location was everything, right?
Absolutely. Its prime spot on the coast let it thrive as a major trading port for over 1,000 years. It passed through the hands of, the Assyrians, Egyptians, Persians, Romans. You can literally read that history of conquest in the stones.
So what are the big highlights from the archaeological sources?
Well, the first thing is the Acropolis, that high point overlooking the sea. That was the site of the grand temple of Aphrodite Amethusia.
Aphrodite Amethusia. That's a key detail, isn't it?
It is. This wasn't just the Greek Aphrodite. It was a unique local version of the goddess. It shows how even their spiritual life was a sort of cultural hybrid. And the views from there, the sources say they're just breathtaking.
You can see why it was so strategic. Down below that, we get the Roman influence.
Right, the Roman baths and the agora, the marketplace. It speaks to a really complex, thriving daily life.
But Amethyst didn't last forever.
No. It stayed important into the Byzantine era, but the sources point to constant Arab raids starting in the 7th century AD. The city was gradually abandoned.
And as Amethyst faded, the focus shifted.
Exactly. It shifted to what would become modern Limassol. And that brings us to the Limassol Castle,
which now houses the Cyprus Medieval Museum. It's sort of the cornerstone of the city's next chapter.
And it comes with some great historical drama. The story everyone tells is that this is where Richard the Lionheart married Berengaria of Navarre.
Rumor,
yeah. But whether it's perfectly accurate or not, it tells you how important this place was, a key stop for the Crusades.
And when you step out of that castle today, you're right in the old town. You see the narrow streets, the grand mosque from the Ottoman era.
Right alongside the Orthodox Cathedral of Ayia. It's all there together.
But this is where the story gets messy. The sources on modern Limassol point to a surprising lack of planning.
A huge lack of planning. Cyprus gained independence in 1960. Formal planning laws were drafted in 72, but they weren't actually enacted until 1990.
1990, that's a massive gap.
It's a huge gap. And the result, according to one academic source, is that urban sprawl in Limassol is, and I'm quoting here, particularly acute.
So rapid, maybe uncontrolled growth.
That's the idea. And you can see that paradox visually. You walk from the historic Old Port and it connects almost seamlessly to the ultra-modern Limassol Marina.
That marina is the perfect symbol of this tension. It's described as this luxurious, high-gloss development with mega yachts.
A complete contrast to the medieval history and the sprawl just a few yards away. It's that rapid, investment-driven internationalization in a nutshell.
And this tension, it doesn't just show up in buildings. It's in the culture, especially the nightlife. We found some fascinating crowdsourced data comparing Limassol to the capital, Nicosia.
Yeah, and the critique of Limassol is pretty sharp. Nicosia is seen as having more genuine venues, more local culture, it caters more to students, an artsy crowd.
Whereas Limassol is described as more international, but also cookie cutter.
One person in the source really went for it. They said, Limassol caters to a very specific type of person that has bad taste and too much money.
Ouch. But the source does explain why that perception exists.
It does. It suggests that Limassol venues rely so heavily on tourist volume. So the thinking is, if one tourist isn't happy, another one with money will be along in a minute. There's less incentive to be unique or offer consistent quality.
But the city does have these two massive annual festivals that are anything but generic. Let's start with the carnival.
The carnival is just this magnificent 10-day event. It ends with a huge parade right before Lent, and its roots are probably ancient, maybe connected to Dionysus.
The god of wine and ecstasy.
That's the one. And what makes it so important today is the satire. The carnival king or queen is often used for some very pointed political commentary.
Like what?
Well, the sources mention a carnival king covered in euro signs to comment on the economic crisis, or a queen depicted as Angela Merkel critiquing EU influence.
Using a party to critique power. And it all kicks off on a day called Cyprus25,
Which means Stinky Thursday.
Stinky Thursday. I love that.
It's because of the smell of all the meat being cooked everywhere before the Lenten fast. It's fantastic.
And the second big festival is the wine festival.
Right, established in 1961. It's also dedicated to Dionysus and Aphrodite. It's really a celebration of the island's ancient winemaking tradition.
And the main draw for people who go.
The main draw is simple: unlimited free samples of Cypriot wine, including the famous Commandaria and the spirit, Xavenia. The festival motto says it all, really.
Which is?
Kaini kotsumi na sisacho.
Drink wine to live long.
A whole philosophy in one sentence.
Okay, so from wine to food. We looked at a study about the island's social nutritional memory, and it revealed a really telling cultural gap.
It really did. So, on the one hand, knowledge of traditional foods is rock solid. Things like halloumi, saftali kebab recognition was near 100%.
So a strong shared food culture.
Very strong. But here's the aha moment. The least recognized items were natural, indigenous herbs that grow wild in the mountains. Recognition rates for things like yellow star thistle dropped as low as 67%.
Why does that matter?
Well, it suggests that as people have urbanized, moved to cities like Limassol, they've kept the memory of the prepared foods, the popular dishes, but they've lost the connection to the wild landscape, to the knowledge of how to forage for these healthy, natural ingredients.
That's a subtle but huge cultural shift, which brings us right up to today and Limassol's attempt to build a contemporary art scene.
Yes, with Vima.art. It's set to be the city's first international contemporary art fair, launching in May 2025. And the venue is so symbolic.
It's a repurposed industrial building, right?
It is. It used to be the island's oldest winery, Sodepi, built in 1947. So you have this direct link from the city's industrial wine-producing past to its creative future.
And Vuma, the name, means step or platform.
Exactly. The ambition is to create a platform that connects the Cypriot art scene with the rest of the region.
So when we pull it all together, what do we have? Limassol is just a city of extreme contrasts.
Yeah.
From ancient Aphrodite worship to a satirical Angela Merkel at Carnival.
And from Roman baths to that acute urban sprawl we talked about, the final analysis really highlights this core tension. It's a fight between preserving a deep personal cultural identity.
Which you see in the food knowledge and the festivals.
Right. A fight between that and the rapid, sometimes generic international development of the city. That push and pull is what makes it so compelling.
Which leaves us with a provocative thought for you to think about. If the Carnival King can so successfully satirize the island's economic and political issues, but at the same time, ancient mountain herbs are being forgotten while new skyscrapers rise, how successfully can modern planning, even with good intentions like Vima.art, truly honor the deep history of a place like Limassol?